how about we go straight into our main topic for this search and report episode? I want to talk about the biggest news for a Zelda fan. And if you didn't know, I reacted and I discussed this trailer. Not really a trailer, I mean, it's a 10-15 minute video on gameplay for Tears of the Kingdom, but Nintendo did release this rather lengthy video on Tears of the Kingdom gameplay, and it showed us a lot of things. It showed us some amazing mechanics and some stuff that I just am so excited to try out, and I'm so happy that the Zelda team was able to find something to really differentiate itself from Breath of the Wild, because that was my main concern. And I said it prior to this video. I said it in a video on what to expect for 2023 from Nintendo. And I was very, very worried that people were going to be extremely disappointed with Tears of the Kingdom, with saying like, this game isn't unique enough, it's not different enough to like warrant us paying $70. Like, it feels like a DLC. Yes, people are still saying that, but come on, it is a completely new game. It's adding so much to the base game that was Breath of the Wild that is just amazing. But how about we go straight into the topic and discuss these battle mechanics, these mechanics from the game that I just think are so amazing. So here we got Nintendo Life reporting Zelda Tears of the Kingdom trailer gets creative with vehicle building fused weapons. And just to like give you a quick summary on the video, which I'm sure you've already seen if you're watching this video, if you're a Nintendo fan, if you're a Zelda fan, you've already seen the trailer. But we got 4 main new mechanics into Tears of the Kingdom, into the main gameplay of Breath of the Wild, so to speak. First of all, we got recall, which you've seen in the trailers, you've seen the Sky Islands, you've seen things fall from the sky, and you've also seen in some of the trailers how Link is able to sort of manipulate time, so to speak, more so just like on an object's past, and its immediate past. We saw in one of the first trailers like a big ball of spikes rolling down a mountain, and then Link using his recall ability, which we now know that is called recall, and basically rewinding time or rewinding that object up the mountain and hitting other enemies, sorry. Now we get a name for this, and Anuma here showed us the way it works. Basically, you see an object falling down the sky, and you can use that object as an elevator. Once you recall it, and the object goes way back into the sky before it fell down to the ground. Why am I being so redundant? I don't know. This is the way I talk. I'm really rusty right now, but it is what it is. I'm still kind of sick, so sorry. That's El Numa showed us that's going to be mainly the principal way, or the main way to get back into the Sky Islands, or climbing up into the Sky Islands. Now, that's not the only way, because I know that there's other methods of flying, so to speak, up into the Sky Islands, but it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting mechanic. I know people are going to get very creative, especially with fighting enemies. I mean, we saw it in the trailer with how Link rewinded that spike ball. I think this opens up so many new ways to like discover the world. Not so much, just going up to the Sky Islands, but what if you find something, let's say you're walking up a mountain and you see like something explode, or a rock explode, or whatever it may be, and a mineral that you've been looking for falls right in front of you. I think it'd be interesting to see if you can recall that material and follow it back to where it exploded, and maybe you see like some more ruby deposits, and that's what you were looking for. That sort of stuff, that sort of exploration is something that I think, if it's possible, it'll make add like an element of discoverability, exploration, just investigating your environments, and like storytelling, environmental storytelling, that I think is just going to be very, very exciting to play with. So recall, that's basically the recall ability. Then we got the fuse ability. The fuse ability, basically fusing weapons, and I like to call it crafting. This is something that, if you haven't seen my 2019 video on what I wanted for Breath of the Wild 2, now that we know it's called Tears of the Kingdom. That was a big thing that I asked from the Zelda team, and for the next iteration of the Zelda franchise, and it's crafting. It's not so much crafting as it is, of course, fusing, getting a weapon, finding a weapon, and fusing it with the material, or fusing it with another weapon. But still, this opens so much possibilities, so much funness. It adds so much fun to the gameplay loop. I mean, we saw in the video, when it comes to fusing, of course, it just opens up so many possibilities and so many ways for people to mix and match a lot of these weapon types, a lot of these materials, especially. I mean, we saw in the trailer how Link was able to fuse something as simple as a tree branch to a whole boulder, a big ass boulder, and that just upped so much the damage that this new weapon can do. I mean, just thinking about the ways that people are going to be able to fuse weapons and try and implement those new strategies on how to approach enemy camps. You see an enemy far away, hey, how about you fuse an arrow with a Kisai, and now you got a homing arrow, and you can kind of do it stealthily now. You don't have to aim as well. If the enemy's far away, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to attack an enemy who's on the lookout for you. Whatever it may be, there's just so many ways now to approach enemy camps, attack a lot of these enemy camps, and it makes discovering these new weapon combinations way more fun. I think this is amazing. I'm so happy that we got some sort of crafting in a sense, and I think the most fun part about this is that it just looks goofy as hell, and I'm all for it, man. I love when games get goofy. I love when games don't stick to the realness aspect that they sometimes, I don't know, there was like a trend of video games just trying to be as realistic as possible. We saw it even with Breath of the Wild, where you can climb everything, but if it's raining, you can't climb stuff because, of course, it's slippery. I think that sort of stuff kind of sucks because it just takes away the main purpose of a game, to be fun, to take you out of reality. Yeah, and this kind of like brings that funness back into this sort of game. It just makes it a lot more fun to interact with the world, interact with the enemies, and I think I can't wait to like see the combinations that people come up with. And I'm more so excited for the meat arrow, of course. The next ability that we saw, of course, on the trailer, let me just go here a little bit faster, was Ultra Hand. Ultra Hand, apparently this is a callback to a name that Nintendo has used previously for some of their products. I think it's a cool callback. Calling it this, I think that Nintendo is great at this sort of stuff. I think this is also one of the greatest abilities that they could have added to the game. Ultra Hand, of course, gives you the ability to create new methods of transport, so to speak. Now you can fuse. It's sort of like fusing, but it's fusing for non-combat things. For example, like you can create boats, you can create little like spaceships. Well, not really spaceships, they're more like planes or hoverboards, so to speak. Rafts, just anything and everything that is going to help you traverse the world. And again, I think at the fundamental level of these things is fun, just discoverability, exploration. It just adds so much more to those elements of what made Breath of the Wild so great. These things just are gonna make the game way more fun. It's gonna be goofy, it's gonna be crazy. People are gonna be flying up into the sky, dropping, free falling, probably just flying straight into the castle and trying to fight Ganon. I'm sure there's gonna be people who are gonna try and fight boss fights, or are gonna try and beat the game with like a hoverboard throughout the whole thing. It's just gonna be hilarious. I'm just so excited for this sort of stuff. It adds so much creativity to the game. Like, I'm so glad that the Zelda team didn't shy away from looking at the stuff that gamers were doing with Breath of the Wild and the different glitches and stuff. I think it's so cool that the Zelda team implemented some of the stuff that, of course, gamers, the community created in the base game of Breath of the Wild. And instead of looking at it as a problem, they saw an asset to that. They saw creativity in that. And I'm just so happy that there's an actual way to create these sort of vehicles. And I think it's just going to be hilarious. I think it's going to be super fun. It's going to make exploring so much more engaging. It's just going to be amazing. And then we got the final ability that they showed, which is Ascend. Probably my least favorite ability out of all. I really don't think this was necessary. I hope that it's tied more so to the story in a way, and I hope there's a bigger reason as to why you're able to like just fly up into a roof, into a ceiling, and kind of like not have to climb a mountain, not have to climb a building. Like that kind of sort of defeats the purpose of exploration a bit. But again, I hope this is more so tied to the story as to why Link is even being able to do this, because if this was a sort of ability to I don't know, get into the Sky Islands, then why give you the ability of recalling and being able to fly up into the sky? Why give you the ability of Ultra Hand, you know, to create these hoverboards, these planes or whatever it may be, to traverse the world and get up to the Sky Island? So I kind of, it sort of defeats the purpose of a lot of the exploration, but again, it also makes it easier because at the same time, in Breath of the Wild, we had Rivali's Wind. I think that's what it's called. I can't quite remember the name of it. But that ability that they gave you once you kind of defeated the Rito enemy, the main Rito region, that didn't necessarily mess up the exploration, but at the same time, Ascend just feels like a little bit of a cheat. So I hope it's more so tied to the story, as I already said, but still very, very excited. And this is another part that I was very excited for, of course, the free falling. I'm the type of guy, I used to love GTA 4 for a main reason, and it was because of the crazy ass physics. I love to like go into that glitchy ass swing set in GTA 4, that if you were to park your car on top of it, it would like literally launch you at like high speeds, and then you basically just like, if you get out of the car, you're just like free falling. It was just hilarious. And again, fun. I'm so glad that now you're able to like do this, and I'm so glad that the traversal from the Sky Islands to the ground is seamless. I think that is so fun. I think that's gonna be so great to explore. I think it's just ways of you to just fly through the skies. I don't know. It's gonna be very fun to really explore this world, and just more so than anything, do some goofy ass shit. That's what I'm more so excited for. But yes, that is pretty much what we got from the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay. Again, I'm so happy that Nintendo, the Zelda team, was able to differentiate and add so many new abilities, so many new mechanics to the game, to the base game that is Breath of the Wild. And this just made me so much more hopeful that we are getting a full-blown new experience. This is going to be just a full-on blown new experience, and I'm happy that they went through like some crazy changes, and I'm glad that they saw what the community was doing with their game, and instead of like shunning that and saying like, no, that's not the way you're supposed to play the game, they kind of encouraged that creativity and implemented it into their game. And now it's gonna open up so many more possibilities. I just can't wait for this game, Tears of the Kingdom. I pre-ordered the collector's edition. That is something that I never do. I have never pre-ordered or ordered in general a collector's edition. I've never done that. But this is how much I love Zelda. This is how much I'm excited for Tears of the Kingdom, and I cannot wait for May 12th, even though they said that my collector's edition is not getting delivered till May 22nd, which kind of sucks. And I hope that's not true, because I cannot wait for 10 days. Okay, that's just not gonna happen. I might as well. I'm just gonna buy the game twice. Like, I'm serious, and just return it or something. I don't know. I've been True Fernie. If you like this video, if you're watching the video version over on YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you didn't like the video, hey, go ahead and give it a thumbs down, because I can assure you, every single interaction helps. The algorithm loves controversial content. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at TrueFernie, where I spend most of my waking hours talking about gaming, talking about anime, talking about basically anything. I'm over there 24/7. It's actually an issue. Make sure to join our Discord server where we talk anything and everything gaming, anime, TVs, movies, anything that might interest you as my viewer. Also, if you're listening to this audio version, make sure to look us up. I mean, you're already listening to the audio version, but if you're watching this on the YouTube version, if you're watching this or whatever it may be, just, make sure to listen to us on Spotify. We're also on other podcast listening apps, whatever it may be. I'm sure if you search for Search and Report, we're gonna pop up. Our logo is a little Game Boy with the word Search and Report on it. I assure you, we're the only gaming podcast titled Search and Report. People always ask me, like, why Search and Report? Because it's a play on Search and Destroy, the gaming mode on Call of Duty. But instead of searching and destroying the target, I search and report the news. I know, I'm very creative. All right, whatever. Folks, please take care of each other, but most importantly, take care of yourself. Apparently there's a tornado happening tonight, so pray for me. All right, peace.